What if everything you've ever believed about your mind, your emotions, and your daily experiences was only the surface of a far deeper reality, a reality shaped not by chance or habit, but by a silent force pulsing within you? Imagine waking up not as a passive observer of your life, but as the conscious author of it. This force I speak of is not fantasy, nor is it a mystic's illusion. It is your subconscious mind, vast, powerful, and deeply programmable, and the key to mastering it lies in understanding and working with the energy that courses through every cell of your being. For decades, many have thought of energy as something intangible or poetic, a word reserved for spiritual talk or ancient folklore. But today, science speaks a different language, one that harmonizes surprisingly well with ancient wisdom. Quantum physics tells us that everything in the universe, including your body, your thoughts, even your feelings, is made of energy vibrating at different frequencies. The renowned physicist Max Planck, the father of quantum theory, once said, "All matter originates and exists only by virtue of a force." We must assume behind this force the existence of a conscious and intelligent mind. This is not philosophy dressed in science, it is science opening its arms to philosophy. Modern technology allows us to observe this invisible dimension. One breakthrough, developed by Dr. Konstantin Korotkov, is known as gas discharge visualization, or GDV. This technique captures the bioelectromagnetic fields emitted by the human body using a form of advanced Kirlian photography. When participants in his studies were exposed to calming music or distressing images, their energy fields would change dramatically, shifting in intensity and form depending on the emotional state. These were not vague or subjective impressions. They were measurable changes recorded by a machine, showing that your emotional state literally alters your energetic signature. Perhaps you've felt this before. You walk into a room and sense tension in the air, though no one has spoken a word. Or you meet someone whose presence feels so warm and uplifting it seems to lift the weight from your shoulders. These are not just social cues or instinct. They are energetic interactions. Your field is always absorbing, emitting, and resonating with the energies around you. And yet, most of us have left this process entirely on autopilot, unaware of the subtle yet constant influence of energy on our mental and emotional well-being. Let me offer you a simple experiment. Recall a moment when you were in a space that felt heavy or oppressive. How did your body react? Perhaps your chest tightened, your breath shortened, or your thoughts grew foggy. Now think of a time you were surrounded by joy, perhaps at a family gathering, a peaceful walk in nature, or holding the hand of someone you love. That warmth, that lightness, that expansion you felt, that was your energy responding to harmony. You are already fluent in this language, you've just forgotten that you speak it. This is where science and philosophy intersect. The ancient yogis spoke of prana, the vital life force. The Chinese called it qi. Native American traditions described a sacred flow of spirit connecting all life. These were not myths, they were intuitive understandings of what we now observe through bioenergetics, heart rate variability, and brainwave coherence. The HeartMath Institute, for instance, has shown that the human heart generates an electromagnetic field up to 5,000 times stronger than the brain's. When we feel emotions like love, gratitude, or compassion, this field becomes more coherent, influencing not just our internal biology but also the people around us. Now, why does this matter to you? Especially at this stage of life, where reflection becomes richer and time feels more sacred. Because it means that your presence, your emotions, and your thoughts are not passive echoes of the past, they are tools of creation. You can choose to lift your frequency. You can train your subconscious to work with you rather than against you. And this is not about reinventing who you are. It's about remembering who you've always been, a being of awareness, connected to a field of life that responds to your attention and intention. Try this tonight before bed. Sit in a quiet space. Close your eyes and take 3 slow breaths. Then recall one memory that fills you with deep gratitude. Let that feeling wash over you like sunlight. This simple act raises your energetic frequency. Do it consistently, and you'll start to notice subtle shifts: better sleep, more peace, perhaps even unexpected moments of clarity or synchronicity. The energy responds when we give it direction. The journey you're about to begin is not about becoming someone else. It is about returning to the truth that has been quietly waiting beneath every heartbeat, every intuition, every breath. The truth that you are energy, and that energy, when guided with wisdom and care, can transform your reality from the inside out. Many people believe that energy is a concept best left to poets, mystics, or perhaps eccentric thinkers who drift too far from the shores of science. But what if I told you that energy is not only real but observable, measurable, and profoundly personal? This is not the territory of vague spirituality or fantasy. It is the meeting point where physics and philosophy walk hand in hand. From the vibration of a single atom to the complex interplay between your heartbeat and your emotions, energy is the invisible thread that sews together every moment of your life. To ignore it is to ignore your very essence. But to understand it, even at a basic level, is to hold the reins of a deeper kind of freedom. At its core, energy is simply information in motion. Every thought you have, every emotion that surges through you, sends an energetic ripple through your body and beyond it. Your cells respond, your brain fires, your heart shifts its rhythm. The Nobel Prize-winning physicist Albert Einstein once said, "Everything is energy, and that's all there is to it." This is not metaphor. It's the foundation of quantum mechanics, where even solid matter is revealed to be vibrating fields. Now, let's connect this with your own experience. Have you ever spent time with someone who leaves you feeling inexplicably drained, even if they've said nothing particularly negative? Or walked into a space that feels unsettling, as if something heavy lingers in the air? These are not just psychological quirks. Studies have shown that the human body emits electromagnetic fields that fluctuate based on emotional and mental states. One study conducted at the University of Arizona used magnetoencephalography to observe changes in the brain's magnetic activity in response to emotional stimuli. These energy shifts can be detected and, more importantly, influenced. This means your emotional state is not a private experience. It is an energetic signal that others can feel, consciously or not. Dr. Valerie Hunt, a neurophysiologist at UCLA, conducted groundbreaking research using electromyographic, EMG, equipment to measure the energy fields surrounding the body. She found that people in states of peace, joy, and compassion emitted more coherent and vibrant energy patterns, while stress, fear, and sadness produced jagged, chaotic signals. These discoveries support what ancient traditions have always intuited, that our inner state creates ripples in the field of life around us. Now pause for a moment and reflect on this. If your thoughts and emotions can alter your energy field and influence your environment, then you are never truly disconnected or powerless. You are, in fact, an emitter and a receiver in a great web of interaction. The energy you project shapes the reactions you receive. Think about how this applies to your day-to-day life. If you approach each morning with anxiety, frustration, or doubt, that frequency becomes your starting point. You carry it into your conversations, your decisions, and even your body, where over time it can manifest as tension, fatigue, or illness. On the other hand, if you begin your day with intention, gratitude, and a few minutes of deep breathing, you shift your internal frequency. The world may still present challenges, but your energy field will meet them with clarity instead of chaos. Here is a practical step you can begin today. In the morning, before reaching for your phone or the news, place one hand on your chest and breathe in slowly through your nose for 4 counts. Hold for 4 counts. Then exhale gently through your mouth for 6 counts. As you do this, visualize a light expanding from your heart outward. Say silently, "I am grounded, I am safe, I am open." This simple breath practice has been shown to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which reduces cortisol levels and calms the mind. But more than that, it teaches your body to align with a coherent energetic frequency. With regular practice, this coherence becomes your new baseline. The truth is, you've been working with energy your entire life. Every choice, every reaction, every memory is encoded not just in your mind but in the field around you. And that field can be shifted. You are not bound by the patterns of your past. Your energy is malleable just like your beliefs. You are not a passive observer of energy. You are its sculptor. Science has confirmed it, and philosophy has long whispered it. Your inner state is the architect of your outer world. Start small, but start today. Because the moment you take ownership of your energy is the moment you begin to shape your reality with intention, grace, and quiet power. There comes a moment in every thoughtful life when we must ask not just what we are, but what we have believed ourselves to be. This chapter is not about learning something new. It is about unlearning what has silently limited you for decades. Most of us carry around invisible chains not made of iron but of ideas, myths handed down through culture, family, or society that quietly shape what we allow ourselves to become. These myths are often so deeply embedded in the subconscious that we mistake them for truth. Let us bring 3 of the most damaging ones into the light and dismantle them with both reason and experience. The first myth is that energy work and inner transformation are only for the spiritual or religious. Many people recoil at the word energy, thinking it belongs in temples, not in science books. But energy is not a belief system. It is the foundation of physical reality. Every cell in your body communicates through electrical signals. Your brain generates measurable waves alpha, beta, theta that reflect your state of consciousness. The electromagnetic field of your heart, as documented by the HeartMath Institute, extends several feet beyond your body and can influence the fields of others. When you feel someone's presence before they speak, you are sensing their field, not their words. You don't need to be religious to have a heartbeat, and you don't need to be spiritual to generate energy. You are doing it right now. The only question is whether you are doing it consciously. The second myth is that only special people, gurus, monks, or gifted healers can influence energy. This belief is not only untrue, it is disempowering. The capacity to sense and direct energy is not reserved for the chosen few. It is a natural human ability, like walking or speaking. It simply requires awareness and practice. Think of how often you've thought about someone and they suddenly called you, or how you've walked into a room and known something had just happened without being told. These are not coincidences. They are subtle, energetic interactions. Neuroscientist Dr. Dean Radin, at the Institute of Noetic Sciences, has conducted extensive research into what he calls non-local consciousness, our mind's ability to influence and connect beyond physical distance. In one study, participants were able to influence random number generators with focused intention. If your mind can affect a machine, imagine what it can do for your own body, your relationships, or your emotional state. The third myth is the most dangerous, that the subconscious is beyond our control, that it runs like a locked vault, inaccessible and immutable. But research in neuroplasticity has shown again and again that the brain and subconscious patterns can be reshaped. Dr. Joe Dispenza's work has revealed how meditation and emotional rehearsal can rewire neural circuits. In clinical studies, patients have overcome deep traumas, reversed chronic illness, and transformed mental habits by entering brainwave states like Theta, where the subconscious becomes highly receptive. Techniques such as guided visualization and deep breathing are not wishful thinking. They are tools to reach and rescript the operating system of your mind. If you believe your subconscious cannot be touched, you will remain a passenger in your own life. But if you realize that it is programmable, you become the coder. So how can you begin shifting these old beliefs? Start with simple daily affirmations, but with a twist. Don't just say them, feel them. The subconscious speaks in emotion, not logic. So instead of repeating, "I am healthy," flatly, close your eyes and remember a moment you truly felt alive. Let that feeling rise, then anchor your affirmation in it. Say, "I am healthy and full of energy," while your body vibrates with that memory. This emotional imprint is what the subconscious responds to. In parallel, observe your daily thoughts. Are you repeating internal stories of limitation? When you catch yourself thinking, "I've always been like this," or "That's just how things are," pause and ask, "Is that true? Or is that a myth I've been taught?" By becoming the observer of your thoughts, you begin to reclaim authorship over them. Remember, the beliefs that rule your life are often the ones you've never questioned. Today is the day to question them, not with anger, but with curiosity, not with fear, but with courage. You are not too old to change. In fact, you are in the perfect season of life to do so. You carry wisdom, perspective, and the time to reflect ingredients that younger souls have yet to acquire. And if you still doubt, let me offer you this image. Imagine your subconscious as a vast garden, For decades, seeds were planted, some by others, some by you. Some have grown into weeds of fear, others into flowers of strength. You may not control the weather, but you can choose what to water. Today, begin watering the thoughts that nourish you. Pull out one weed of doubt. Plant one new seed of belief. With every conscious act, you become the gardener of your inner life. Science has opened the gate. Philosophy offers the meaning, and your lived experience provides the soil. All that remains is your choice. By now, you may have begun to sense that the life you've lived was not just the product of circumstances or chance, but of patterns shaped by energy, emotion, and subconscious memory. These patterns are not fixed like concrete. They are alive, breathing in the background of your awareness, influencing what you feel, how you react, and what you believe is possible. Many of these patterns were not chosen. They were installed quietly like background software through childhood experiences, cultural conditioning, or past emotional wounds. But here is the truth that changes everything. These patterns can be rewritten. And the first step to rewriting them is not force or denial, but recognition. Imagine your subconscious as a vast control room filled with levers and switches. You may have been told you cannot enter that room, that it's sealed off by age or habit. But neuroscience now confirms that you can. The doorway is not locked, it simply requires a shift in how you pay attention. Begin by identifying a repetitive challenge in your life. It could be financial scarcity, a recurring emotional pattern in relationships, or a lingering sense of self-doubt. These patterns are not random. They are energetic signatures tied to emotional memories. Each one is like a record playing in the background of your mind, looping until the song is changed. When you ask yourself, what emotion accompanies this pattern? You are pulling the record from the shelf and beginning to examine it. Is it fear, rejection, guilt, or perhaps a silent belief that you are undeserving of more? The moment you name it, you bring it out of the shadows. And what is seen can be changed. Dr. Candace Pert, a neuroscientist and author of Molecules of Emotion, demonstrated that emotions are not just feelings, they are chemical signals that bind to receptors throughout the body. When you hold on to fear or grief, it doesn't just haunt your thoughts. It embeds itself in your biology. That's why changing your energetic and emotional patterns is not just psychological. It is physical healing. But how do you begin the transformation? One powerful tool, used for centuries by ancient cultures, is the creation of an energy sphere. This is not imaginary play. It is a practical technique for strengthening your energetic awareness and intention. Rub your hands together for 10 seconds, then slowly pull them apart. You will feel a subtle resistance, like magnets facing each other. Now visualize a soft sphere of light between your palms. Give it a color that matches your purpose: blue for calm, red for strength, green for healing. As you breathe deeply, imagine that sphere growing brighter, pulsing with life. Now, with intention, place that sphere over your heart or hold it in the space around your body. Tell it what you want it to carry. Release, courage, peace. With time, this practice sharpens your sensitivity to your own energy. It reminds you that change is not a matter of waiting. It is something you can initiate here and now. Science supports this. Studies in biofeedback and neuroplasticity show that visualization, when paired with emotion, creates measurable changes in brain activity. Athletes have used this technique for decades, mentally rehearsing movements to improve real-world performance. The same is true for emotional transformation. If you rehearse peace, your body begins to memorize it. If you rehearse courage, your chemistry begins to reflect it. Think of it this way: every emotion is a chemical cocktail. When you dwell in fear, your body releases cortisol and adrenaline. Do it long enough and your body becomes addicted to those chemicals. It starts seeking situations that maintain that pattern. This is why people repeat negative cycles even when they want to break them. Their body is not resisting change because they are weak. It's resisting because it's chemically conditioned. The solution is not force. It is gentle, consistent reprogramming. Begin with small rituals. Start your morning not with the news, but with 10 deep breaths and an affirmation said aloud. I choose peace today. I allow joy to enter. Say it while placing your hand on your chest. Feel the vibration of your own voice echo through your ribcage. That vibration matters. The vagus nerve, which runs from your brain to your gut, responds to sound and breath. Stimulating it calms the nervous system, lowers inflammation, and opens the door for new emotional patterns. You are literally tuning your instrument. Do this daily. Repeat it not because you expect instant results, but because you are planting seeds. As the ancient Stoics taught, it is not the storm that defines a man, but how he trains his mind to sail through it. Philosophy reminds us that we are not victims of fate, but participants in it. And science now gives us tools to shape that participation. The energy patterns of your past do not own you. They do not define what tomorrow must look like. They are simply echoes, and echoes fade when the original voice becomes stronger. Let your voice become that strength. Let each breath, each choice, each moment of stillness become a brushstroke in the masterpiece of your healing. You are not starting from scratch. You are returning to something timeless within you. So begin today. Reclaim the control room. Feel the switch beneath your fingers, and flip it. Now that you have seen the patterns, felt the currents of energy shaping your life, and recognized the silent programs running beneath your awareness, it is time to step fully into action. Philosophy may guide our reflection, and science may validate our experience, but it is only through deliberate practice that transformation becomes real. The truth is, energy is not something you occasionally influence, it is something you project constantly, like a lighthouse casting light into the sea. And just as a lighthouse must be maintained to shine clearly, so too must your energy be shaped through daily habits, mindful attention, and intention-driven exercises. Let us begin with the breath, for it is the bridge between body and mind. Deep rhythmic breathing is not just calming, it reprograms your nervous system. A study published in Frontiers in Human Neuroscience revealed that slow, intentional breathing stimulates the prefrontal cortex, enhances emotional regulation, and shifts the body into parasympathetic balance. Each morning, take 3 minutes to breathe in for a count of 4, hold for 4, and exhale for 6. As you do this, picture your body filling with a soft golden light. Feel the breath moving through your spine like a gentle wave, loosening the tension of yesterday and awakening the clarity of today. This simple practice grounds your energy, preparing your field like rich soil for whatever thoughts or intentions you plant next. Now, let us bring conscious thought into this space. Too often, people speak affirmations like reciting a grocery list, flat and lifeless. But your subconscious does not respond to words alone, it responds to emotional resonance. If you say, "I am confident," but your body feels doubt, your energy is divided and the affirmation falls flat. The key is to infuse thought with sensation. Imagine a memory when you truly felt proud or strong. Let that memory come alive in your chest. Once you feel it, speak your affirmation from that place. "I am confident and grounded." Say it aloud. Feel the echo of your voice vibrating through your ribs. That vibration is not symbolic. It is a signal. The vagus nerve, which regulates emotional balance, responds to vocal tone and breath. With every repetition, you are rewiring the way your body stores and expresses belief. But we must also look at resistance, for change is not only about light. It is also about shadows. When you begin to raise your energy or shift your subconscious programs, your body may push back. Not because you are broken, but because it has grown accustomed to the chemistry of fear, stress, or sadness. Dr. Joe Dispenza explains this beautifully. The body becomes addicted to emotional patterns the way it can crave sugar or caffeine. If you've lived in anxiety for years, calm may feel unfamiliar, even uncomfortable. You may find yourself distracted, irritable, or inexplicably tired. These are signs not of failure, but of detox. Your body is adjusting to a new frequency. Honor that process with compassion. When you feel resistance, pause. Place a hand over your heart and say, "This is my turning point." That phrase becomes an energetic anchor, reminding your body and mind that discomfort is not danger, it is the doorway to healing. Let us now move into the environment where your energy meets the world. Before entering any space, a meeting, a gathering, Even a grocery store pause for 5 seconds. Close your eyes. Inhale once with intention. As you exhale, visualize your energy expanding outward, like sunlight filling a room. Tell yourself, my presence brings calm and clarity. Studies in social neuroscience have shown that people unconsciously mirror the emotional energy of those around them. When you enter a space with grounded energy, you become a stabilizing influence, even without speaking. This is not performance. It is energetic leadership. One final technique I urge you to explore is what I call magnetic alignment. Throughout the day, especially during moments of doubt or fatigue, stand with your feet firmly planted. Roll your shoulders back. Breathe deeply, and imagine a line of energy running from the crown of your head down into the earth. This vertical alignment recenters your nervous system and reminds you that you are supported. Your energy becomes less scattered and more directed. Over time, this posture becomes a signal to your subconscious that you are safe, steady, and empowered. Remember, the body listens more to consistency than intensity. A short daily practice done with sincerity will yield more transformation than a rare grand effort followed by neglect. You are not too late. You are not too old. In fact, you are in the perfect stage of life to become intentional with your energy. You have the wisdom to know what truly matters and the freedom to direct your time with care. You have weathered many seasons and now stand at the edge of a new one not defined by limitation, but by conscious creation. Begin now. Breathe with awareness. Speak with emotion. Move with presence. Let your energy become a quiet revolution, not just within yourself, but in every space you touch. Because the world does not need more noise. It needs more grounded, awake, and heart-aligned energy. And that, my friend, is exactly what you are here to embody.